Hi guys and welcome back, it's Simba. This is going to be my new video on how to plan a wedding. Chances there might be a few things that you are doing wrong or some things that you don't know. So we are going to be breaking it down. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe so that you see all our future videos. I will also be doing a free giveaway of a wedding checklist in this episode in the form of a digital download. So stick around and claim your free book. Alright, let's get straight into the action. If you are recently engaged and beginning the wedding planning process, establishing a timeline is important. It sets the tone for your vendors, so you can search for venues that are available, buy a dress that will be ordered enough in time, find caterers, photographers, and florists who are available in the amount of time you need. The average couple spends approximately 13 to 18 months planning their wedding, but your timeline can vary depending on the vendors you work with and the vibe you want. If you can be flexible with your timeline, you will have more options when planning. If you're going to do this in a short period, you are probably doing it wrong. The bride and the groom's responsibility is to get married, of course, but there are countless planning decisions to make first. The bride and the groom work together on these decisions, share the workload. A few of these basics are setting the budget, choosing the date, style, and venue for the wedding, coordinate invites, flowers, the photographer, etc. Shop for wedding bands, shop for wedding suits and dresses, write wedding vows if they choose, send thank you notes for all the gifts. In addition to joint responsibilities, the bride and the groom each traditionally handle certain details on their own, including each making sure his or her family complies a guest list. I've seen a lot of grooms who just leave everything to the bride and hide behind the fact that the wedding is the sole responsibility of the bride. My role is just to give her money. Or I've seen grooms who insist that I should handle everything, since the money is coming from me. You're probably doing it wrong by trying to go all the way by yourself. Include your partner in some kind of way. His or her contribution will go a long way. A wedding will probably be the biggest and most involved party either of you have ever put together. Do not be scared. You can start planning your wedding in 10 simple steps. Take it easy and just enjoy being engaged. Though it might come as a surprise to the bride, you kinda like feel it, that he might propose someday. And when he finally does, take pictures of the ring, kiss each other, and go out more. It might not be the actual wedding, but surely it will be the biggest step. You should take the time to tell your parents of the upcoming events. Depending on where you are on the continent, parents play a pivotal role before, during, and after your wedding day. Don't let superstition prevent you from telling your parents, because it is the parents' blessings and send-off that everyone needs. Obviously, you are doing it wrong by not telling your parents, or just dropping a bombshell on them when you are just a few weeks away from your wedding. Parents have more experience than you, better to have them by your side from the start. The age of technology has ruined so many things. You find couples going fully digital on planning their weddings. Who doesn't like technology really? However, you're doing it wrong by sidelining the traditional ways. Buy a journal and write down your plans, dates, and anything that you might deem necessary. It is easier to share a journal with your spouse and friends than your phone, don't you think? A journal will act as a backup, and you can also make service providers sign in it as well, on top of the contracts that they give you. Another sure way of not planning your wedding right is by remaining quiet. Tell everyone the good news. There are so many ways of doing this, and no way is more proper or better than the other. Consider announcing your engagement to your family and friends. One of the most important decisions you ever make as you plan your wedding is picking a wedding date. Not only will it be the first question everyone will ask you, but you will be surprised how difficult it will be to make any progress on planning your wedding without knowing the date. This is the time to decide if you are having a formal wedding, a casual wedding, or a themed wedding. It is also the time to decide if you are having a religious or a secular ceremony. In short, you need to decide what you want your wedding to feel like. A good way to begin is to sit down with your partner and to do some free writing about your ideal wedding. Look for a newly engaged wedding planning questionnaire to help you get you started. Start off by finding a wedding budget worksheet. Look at your finances and figure out how much you already have in savings and how much you can save each month. Talk to each of your parents and ask them if they would like to contribute to your wedding. Find out how much they would like to give you, or what specific things they would like to pay for. And lastly, decide how much you feel comfortable going into debt. However, I strongly advise couples to avoid debt as much as possible, since married couples fight about money more than anything else. Why start your marriage with debt on your backs? This is a huge mistake that is prominent with women. Growing up, they always imagine what their wedding day will look like, and they will try to force their husband into fulfilling their wishes, forgetting that there is life after the wedding. So always try to keep your finances in check. Your attendants do a lot more than just standing next to you on the day of the wedding. Now it is the time to get them involved. While some couples opt not to have any attendants at all, especially if they are having a casual event, most choose between 2 and 12 members of the bridal party. Look over these lists of responsibilities for bridesmaids and groomsmen before you make your final choices. Speaking of bridesmaids, we made a video that explains the role of bridesmaids on a wedding day. You can see the video by clicking the link up here. You know you are doing it wrong by trying to book a venue a few months before your wedding. Many venues are booked a year in advance, so the further in advance you start looking, the more likely you are going to get the time, date, and costs that you have planned for. The successful bride and groom do not plan their wedding alone. They get help. This may be from professionals, respected publications, online resources, or trusted friends who have planned their own weddings. Considering hiring a wedding planner or consultant, especially if you are a busy person or just feel a little lost, a professional can be invaluable in putting together your ideal day and can often save you money. Now that you have made all this decision, you have a solid foundation for your wedding. It's now time for the fun stuff like dresses, tuxedos, flowers, music, favors, and more. Remember to use the wedding planning checklist to stay organized and on top of it all. As promised, we promised a giveaway that you can keep that will help you along your journey. The list is not extensive, but will surely work as a reminder as to what you will need to do. The download link is in the description below. If you like more of this kind of tips, everyone click any of these videos to help you along the way. And if you enjoy bridal dances, again, click on the bridal videos to have fun. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.